So guys, can you believe it? Finally today I got for you a long-awaited and often announced best of episode that is dedicated to the note of tobacco in perfumery, and this is seriously probably the best of episode I've been working on for the longest time out of all I've posted so far, and the link to the playlist with the previous ones you will find down below in the description box, so make sure to check it out. And if tobacco is your favorite note, then make sure to keep on watching, because today I got for you a top 20 list of beautiful tobacco fragrances, which are all very different because this is a pretty complex note. So make sure to subscribe to my channel if you're here for the first time. Don't forget to give this video a huge thumbs up, and once you're done with that, we can get started. Hello and welcome everyone to this video that I'm so excited about, because you've probably already heard me announcing it, and I've been working on this best of episode for several months now, just collecting all of these tobacco fragrances because I'm really into this note and I want to get the most beautiful tobacco fragrances for you. So if it's your favorite note and you know a great tobacco perfume, make sure to comment it down below for all of us. That way we can make a top 100 list out of this top 21. And once you're doing so, I'm getting started. And because tobacco is such a complex note and it has been used in perfumery for many times, it can be warm and sophisticated, rich, oriental, or it can be green and herbaceous. It just depends on the direction perfumer pushes it into. And I want to begin with the fragrance that I blind bought, and it is on the top 20 spot, because today I decided to actually rank my tobacco favorites, which I've never done in my best of episodes, but I thought, why not? So welcome AMETHYST by the brand Elizabeth and James, which is a part of their NIRVANA collection, and their bottles are really pretty. I blind bought it because of very positive reviews online, and although this is a pretty nice scent, it's only on the top 20 spot, which I open it with because it is a dusty type of tobacco, and I am personally not very much into fragrances that smell dusty. To me, it is rather woodsy, spicy tobacco that is very dry. There is actually a note of honeysuckle that I was so excited about, and unfortunately I don't smell it in here. So this fragrance is actually pretty versatile. I've been wearing it to work and it's lovely even in the morning, which is a great thing about it, because a lot of the times tobacco fragrances are too heavy for some people. So let me know if you agree on that or not. But in case you are a lover of heavier tobacco fragrances, I got a one for you, which is on the 19th spot today, and this is Oud Tobacco by MOTEL. I got this 20 ml one for free once I ordered 100 ml one bottle, because this is a deal on their website. If you get 250 ml bottles or 100 ml, you can choose 20 ml one for free, and it's your choice, which is really cool. And I've been really interested in this perfume because some people went crazy about it, and this is a crazily strong fragrance. In the opening it is a little bit too harsh for me. There is a note of sumac, cumin and citruses, and then there is agar wood, there is orange blossom, incense, tobacco and tonka bean, as well as a hint of incense. And at first it smells even sour. I don't know if that's because of the spices. Then it turns slightly bitter and very smoky. So this is a very dark type of tobacco that I personally really enjoy to wear in the evening. So when it's dark, it performs the best. It's really strong, it projects intensely. So if you love the vibe of MOTEL's fragrances, I think you will really enjoy it. But let's talk about something that's a bit more comfortable to wear during the daytime as well, and this is a perfume by the brand Floral that is called Tobacco Vanille. And although many people compare it to a very popular Tobacco Vanilla by Tom Ford, I wouldn't say that they are identical. First of all, this particular one also features a note of cinnamon, which is so prominent for that Tom Ford's. bestseller, but this is the fragrance with note of amethyst, which is very noticeable in here. It brings this leathery apricot facet into this slightly sweet but not too gourmand tobacco composition, because in here we also have vanilla, which sweetens the tobacco but rather in the dry down. And this is a very well performing fragrance with the roundest sillage ever, and it's also really affordable. So I will leave a link to their official website down below so you can check out their fragrances and also maybe my review on their perfumes, and you can purchase them with my discount to save some money, and I highly recommend you to do so because this is one of the most unisex tobacco fragrances I've ever smelled. But the one that's more on the masculine side and the one that I personally like to wear myself is by MANCERA, and it's their red tobacco. So I have this travel spray, and I remember once I wore it to the university and I sat there in the seminar, you know, in the room, and was just wondering who smells so good. You know that feeling once you smell something and you don't remember that's you? Well, that's the case with this fragrance, which has this note of green apple, which makes it a bit more crisp, although it's rather bitter, sweet and spicy. It's a very complex fragrance. There is a lot going on in here. Spices, woody notes, even, you know, these green nuances of apple and white pear. And although it is on the masculine side, I love to wear it myself. So if there are women out there who love more masculine fragrances, I would definitely recommend you to check it out, and I would especially recommend it for men if you're looking for a nighttime fragrance, if you have a night out and you want a perfume that will be really bold. It will work perfectly for that occasion. But let's get back to those unisex perfumes, shall we? So this next fragrance is my recent found, and it was my best perfume discovery last month, which is by the brand NUIT NOMADE, and the name is Memory MOTEL. So listen guys, this is a true hidden gem that smells a little bit nostalgic, and the main note in there for me personally is not even tobacco, because I get so much carnation out of it. It's crazy because so many people describe it as tobacco. If you Google it, then you will read that this is a very tobacco-centered fragrance, but to me it smells a lot like a spicy carnation, and it is just a very interesting and intriguing fragrance. There is incense with iris, there is tobacco with vanilla leather, oak moss and patchouli and bergamot. So technically it's like this nostalgic chypre with a lot of spiciness that comes from carnation, and it's just a very atmospheric perfume, so I would definitely recommend it for those who prefer fragrances in that style. And on that note, let's talk about some sexy, dirty, animalic stuff, of course with a lot of tobacco. For me, that's Burning Band by the brand Stranger's Perfumery from Thailand. In case you haven't seen my interview with the perfumer Prinlam Rose, who is the nose behind this brand and this specific composition, I will leave a link to it down below so you can check it out, because you guys, he creates very extravagant fragrances, and this one has a lot of coffee, it has dark chocolate, it has tobacco with leather, castoreum, cognac, hazelnut, beeswax. So there are a lot of animalic notes in there, and coffee in here is very prominent. It's like dark, not sweet espresso. Think about very dark chocolate that's rather bitter than sweet. This is the vibe of this perfume that I think is going to be suitable for people who don't like sweet fragrances but want to smell sexy and mass appealing, because Gourmands really have that vibe, and so does this fragrance. So in case you also love sexy animalic fragrances like I do, I think you will really enjoy it. But in case you are more into, you know, very noble smelling fragrances, then I would recommend you this one that I bought Benny years ago as a birthday gift, and it's a natural fragrance by the French brand Fillet that is called Cuba. So their perfumes are inspired by different destinations and places around the world, and every time Benny wears this fragrance, it just smells very mature. It smells grown up. This is the best way I can describe it. There are citruses, there are spices, cardamom, tobacco, chili, amber, and I love it very much for, you know, just this grown up, mature, very confident vibe. And I would definitely recommend you this one because it's also on the affordable side and you just can't go wrong with it. But with that being said, let me tell you about a very peaceful tobacco. How do you like that description? So tobacco is not necessarily a very peaceful note, but this is how this fragrance by 4160 Tuesdays, which is called Creamy Vanilla Crumble, smells to me personally. I've already mentioned it in many of my videos because it's an all-time favorite of mine that I particularly enjoy to wear to bed. Yes, you know, this is a very relaxing perfume with a note of whipped cream, custard, vanilla, malt, hay, of course tobacco and musk that is so pleasant. It literally calms you down and I love it. For that, once I smelled it, it seemed too masculine for me, but then I thought, why did I get that impression out of it? It's perfectly unisex and gorgeous, just like the next perfume. Although it is marketed towards men, once I discovered for myself, it became like a massive favorite, and if I needed or if I purchased anything from Roger, this one, which is called Enigma Per Homme Perfume Cologne, would be the first one, because you guys, this is just a very interesting fragrance overall because it has the opening of cola. I'm not kidding with you. Any review that says that is correct in my personal opinion. It smells like Coca-Cola in the opening. This is a fizzy tobacco which you won't find very often. So the fizziness in the opening is just unbeatable. It is so good, so delicious, so mouth-watering, so fun. But then there is like a change, turns so powdery, it's crazy, you would not expect that. So there is heliotrope, there are many floral notes, rose, neroli, jasmine, geranium, and in the base, oh my god, pepper, patchouli, benzoin, tobacco, vanilla, cognac, ambergris, ginger, cardamom, sandalwood. Whew, this is a complex composition. I love it very much. It's not tobacco heavy, and that's actually a nice thing because it makes it really wearable for the everyday basis. So if you love powdery perfumes and you love cola, you need to check it out. Alrighty then, let's talk about, I believe, the 11th fragrance, right? Okay, I forgot to count, so please do that for me. And right now, I just need to talk, you know, like right in the middle of this video about a massive compliment getter, probably the most complimented tobacco fragrance from my collection, and this is the one that I've been mentioning for many years on my channel because it's not only my favorite, Benny loves to wear it, and I love to wear it myself and to smell it on him because, you guys, El Hermes Amber Oud Tobacco Edition always grabs people's attention. So this one is actually very similar to that super hyped Tom Ford's Tobacco Vanille, but I find that this one is a bit different. It is more complex, it is maybe less sweet. There is of course the cinnamon tobacco leaf, but there is also star anise, there are cloves, there is chocolate, there is ginger, there are dry fruity notes. And I love it when it is a bit colder outside, so I wouldn't wear it in the heat. But you guys, this is just that massive compliment getter. You really need to check it out if you love to get compliments, because this perfume is just like a magnet for them. But in case you prefer more creative perfumes, I got a one for you, and it is by the American indie house Gallica Fragrances that is called Oh Fresh. And my bottle actually leaks, so this stuff is so powerful and it will get everywhere, but I'm fine with that because, you guys, this is a green take on tobacco. It's one of those herbaceous tobacco fragrances, but it has a few surprises. So there are notes of grapes and black currant. They make it really juicy, okay? And the tobacco leaf in here is very particular because it doesn't smell of pipe tobacco, it smells of cigarette smoke. And although I'm against smoking, I don't like the scent of cigarette, maybe of very particular ones, this is so nice. It's green, it is very atmospheric. I love it when it is cooler, when it's chilly outside, when it is maybe raining. It's great in the humidity. There is orris, birch tar, vetiver, which is really prominent in here. It helps with the rooty green herbaceous facet and many other notes. And this stuff is beast mode. So if you love creative perfumes, you like green fragrances, maybe you're a fan of cigarettes, you might really want to check it out because it's very different from everything else you might smell with tobacco. But in case you love those warmer tobacco fragrances, you guys, I fell in love with Kayali's Invite Only Amber 23, not only because of its bottle, but because of its rich warm scent at first sniff. And I've been wearing it like crazy all winter long because it reminds me of mulled wine. It has that sour cherry, honey, chocolate, hazelnut, some spices, a lot of amber, which is a little bit jammy because of the roses, and oud with patchouli, with sandalwood. And this is just a beautiful mix of different notes that go together perfectly. So it's not only about tobacco, and it smells a little bit boozy. So this is my warm, wintry tobacco choice. So next up, I have a very special tobacco. It's not similar to the rest of mentioned fragrances today, and it is called Fan Your Flames by NICHEYALL. So this stuff is incredible. In the top we have coconut with rome, then in the middle there is tobacco with tonka bean, and in the base cedar with oak musk. And we've already spoken about Boozy fragrance, but this one is different. It's not sweet. Think about rome and imagine it to be infused with coconut. So it's slightly tropical, but not to the point that you think about vacation. It's so special, like the most NICHEYALL fragrances are. And tobacco in here is not sweet. It's rather, you know, like smoky, bitter, and just the combination of notes, it is mind-blowingly good. I've never smelled anything that would be similar to it. It is more masculine to me, although I love to wear it. Every time I wear it, I'm like, man, this is so nice, but I would love to smell it on a bigger man, maybe with beard. I always say that when I smell this fragrance. That's just like my weird association. Let me know if you're familiar with this fragrance and what do you think about it. But in case you're more into elegant perfumes, this next one by the brand Maison Violet that is called Un Air d'Apogée is actually a very elegant and smooth, gentleman-like tobacco fragrance, although it's totally unisex. So other than tobacco, we have hay, suede, cashmere, mimosa, leather, sage, iris, ambroxan, cedar, and labdanum in there. And you guys, this fragrance is slightly sweet. It is slightly powdery, which is definitely a huge plus for me personally. And once I sprayed it on Benny this morning, he said marzipan. So here you go. If you love warmer fragrances that are very alluring, that have very, very beautiful sillage, because that's definitely about it, make sure to check it out, and I will leave a link to their official website in case you would like to test all of their perfumes, which I highly recommend you to do so. And of course, don't forget to use my discount to save some money. But let's talk about some sunshine, let's talk about some, tropical island vibes, because that's exactly how Eau de Sorel by Naomi Gutser smells. And this is one of the most well-known tobacco fragrances out there for such a good reason. My God, where should I start? I actually featured it in my best of mango episode last summer. In case you missed it, definitely check it out. This perfume is out of this world. It was created by Bertrand Duchefort, who is a master of perfumery. I love his work, and this perfume is just like you need it if you love fruity notes, because other than tobacco, beeswax, vanilla, honey, oak, amber, sage, artemisia, mate, rome, there are so many fruity notes like apple, red berry, sweet orange, and mango. You can smell all of them in there, and they are very, very tart. This is a tart, sweet, tropical, vacation-like, and at the same time very, very rich and deep type of tobacco. I love to wear it in the autumn. I love to wear it when it is cool but sunny outside, and it's just special, okay? It's so, so nice. It is addictive. It's one of those fragrances that you're like, my God, I need a bottle of it. So I highly recommend you to check it out in case you are looking for something mouth-watering. But in case you are looking for something mouth-watering and at the same time creative, I would recommend you this perfume by Matt Meleg from MELEG Perfumes, and his Canadian brand is actually about creativity and unique combination of notes and at the same time, you know, classy perfumery. So this fragrance, I feel like even a standout from his collection, not only from tobacco fragrances in general, which is called Golden Guy, because it was created with a homemade tincture of liquor. Which one? Make sure to check out on his Instagram page. He shared a lot of posts on this fragrance because it was quite a process to create it, and the end result is freaking amazing. You guys, this perfume, although it is very unique, creative, is also very attractive, probably because people notice that there is something different in here, and the way it performs, like all Meleg's perfumes, it has such beautiful sillage. The dry down of it is just to die for. So it is long lasting, it is boozy, there is real liquor in there, there is pipe tobacco in there. I believe this is the tobacco that was infused with this homemade liquor tincture. It is really what creativity in perfumery is all about, and I would highly recommend you to check it out. But now let me tell you about my guilty pleasure that I actually specifically purchased for this video, which I took as an excuse to add to my collection, BDK's fragrance, which is of course Tobacco Rose, because tobacco is in the name, and that's all that I get out of it, because this is not a very tobacco fragrance, to be honest with you, but I wanted to mention something less tobacco heavy, although this is the center of this video. In this fragrance I get much more of a jammy rose, there is chocolate, there is plum, and those are the notes that I can pinpoint in this composition. Cinnamon, tobacco, patchouli, pink pepper are almost non-existent for me. This is a very plummy, jammy, sweet, almost gourmand tobacco. I love it because it lifts me up anytime I wear it. It's my go-to, it's a massive favorite, it's just like my personal favorite. And to get BDK perfumes, you can actually, with my discount from So Avant-Garde Web Shop, so please keep that on your mind. And I wanted to include it in this video maybe for those who just start wearing tobacco fragrances, but for those who love this note, for those who can't get enough of it, for those who just crave tobacco to the max, I got something for you too. And you might be surprised that this is not my #1 spot, but we are at the 3rd place, and it goes to Tobacolor. You might remember my review on it, you might remember how much I loved this one by Dior. You guys, this is a crazy fragrance, this is how I can call it, because I personally did not expect something as powerful as it is from Dior, because in the opening it's full-on smoky plum. Right in your face. There is honey in there, there is white tobacco, there are oriental notes, and in the opening it is burnt plum. It is so smoky, it is like so dark, it's like whoa, maybe even scary for some people, but I love it. However, in the dry down, it's so strange that it turns fresher. There are citruses that bring in shine, and there's this golden amber. So for me, it smells like a peach that is wrapped into ambery tobacco leaf, if that makes sense. In the dry down, in the opening, it's smoked plum, and I love it because it's long lasting, it projects. Anytime I wear it, I get noticed with this fragrance because it's really bold. But with that being said, now it's time to share with you my top 2 tobacco picks, and honestly it was very hard to nail them down, all of them, but especially these 2, because I couldn't choose between them, and you might be actually very much shocked that I chose Tom Ford's legendary Tobacco Vanille as the second one on today's list. I will explain you why. They were really close with the #1, and I have a feeling that Tobacco Vanille actually set up the trend for sweet vanillic tobacco fragrances. Let me know if you agree or disagree. Let me know if you have this fragrance, because I feel like it's a must-have for any tobacco lover, because this is what this menthol vanilla mixed with dry, spicy, almost like chocolatey notes is about. There is tobacco in there, but it is sweet, it is addictive, it is so good anytime I wear it, even in the warm weather. Although it's more winter time appropriate, my god, I just don't know how they create such a beautiful fragrance that just inspires so many people to create something similar. So I don't think I need to talk much about it. I think that those of you who love tobacco are already familiar with it, but now I want to highlight for you a very, very new tobacco fragrance. Maybe not all of you know about it, and it's actually my number one. And yes, I chose Rainier's fragrance Genius as my number one favorite tobacco perfume. And do you know why? Well, because it includes everything I love in perfumery. So first of all, it has a beautiful spicy aromatic opening, and besides cinnamon there is ginger in there, and it's like slicing, cutting this fresh ginger. It is a little bit tingly, it is really energizing, it's juicy, it's beautiful opening. Then it changes. There are some flowers such as ylang and iris, there is tobacco with tonka beans, so there is sweetness, there is floralcy, and there is beautiful vanilla and some other base notes in the dry down. So the way it performs, the way it changes, the complexity, the way it dries down, you know, just everything. I love to wear it. Every time I wear it, I have a great fragrance day, and that is what counts. So I can call Genius like a perfect tobacco, but it is rather spicy, fresh, aromatic tobacco, which might be different from those cinnamon tobaccos that we've spoken about before. Let me know if you prefer warmer tobacco or cooler tobacco fragrances, because that might be interesting to discuss too. And Rainier fragrances are always very artistic, so if you want to test this brand, you can do that on Aquasion Natural, and I have a discount for you so you can save some money. Please let me know what fragrance from today's list made you curious, and let me know if you have any questions left. I would love to know what is your most favorite tobacco perfume. Please comment down below for me. Oh, and maybe completely off topic, although not really, please let me know with which color do you associate tobacco, because for me that's definitely brown. That's why I'm dressed like this today, and I even painted my nails to match it. And please make sure to give this video a huge thumbs up in case you learned something new and interesting from it, so it can be seen by more people. And of course, don't forget to subscribe to my channel. If you're here for the first time, please follow me on my social media so we can stay in touch, and I'm excited to hear from you. So thank you so much for watching. Let me know which note you would like me to discuss in the next best of episode, and if you end up shopping with any of my discounts, that would be very helpful for my channel as well. But if you would like to support it, you can actually donate on Buy Me Coffee website. And on that note, thank you so much for watching. Make sure to stay tuned and smell good. We'll see each other next one really soon. Bye guys.